Hello there, and today we're going to make a crochet chain stitch flower. If you've been following along, you will already have your 10 chain with a slip stitch to join. If not, here are the links in the video. They're also in the description below. Okay, our very first project. Let's get started. Don't worry about this thread here. We are going to crochet that into our flower, so you're not going to be able to see that at all. So first thing is chain 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, so here's our chain 8, and what I'd like to do is to connect that to our ring to make the first petal. We'll also be tucking this in as we go along. So hold that in position, and I'd like you to do a slip stitch into the ring. Make sure your tension's correct. Position the loose yarn and insert your crochet hook into the circle and draw through the yarn so that you have 2 stitches on the needle. Now adjust your tension and pull the first stitch through the second stitch, just like we've done previously. So that's the first one, going through the second one, and here we go. That stitch is a slip stitch, and we've used it to connect our first petal. So let's start our second petal with 8 more chains. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and we're really going to do the same thing with our 8 chains. We're going to connect it to the ring again in the very same way. Make sure you keep your loose end tucked in as well. So insert the hook and draw through the yarn, adjust your tension, 2 stitches on your needle, and draw the first one through the second one with a slip stitch. So there we go, petal number 2. Let's get on with number 3 with 8 more chains. There's 2, that is 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And again the same principle, so make sure the loose end is in position, and let's insert our hook into the ring, draw the yarn through, 2 stitches on the needle, and draw the first one through the second one. That's right, 3 petals there. So let's get on with petal number 4. Again, chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. There we go, 8 more chains, ready to form our petal. Again, make sure your loose end is in position, insert hook, draw yarn through, and first stitch through the second stitch. 4 petals in total. Let's get on with number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, here we go. Same again. Yarn in place, insert hook, draw through, 2 stitches on the hook and the first one through the second one. So here we go then, our very last petal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So for the last time then, let's position our loose end, insert the needle, draw through the yarn, 2 stitches and first stitch through the second stitch. Now just to finish off, what I'd like to do is to do one more chain stitch just to secure our work. So here we go, one more, and this time pull your yarn so you have a really long stitch, just like that. About that size is fine. And then what we're going to do is just take our scissors and snip that there. And finally remove the yarn that's connected to the ball of wool. So that's all our crocheting done. Let's just neaten things up. Pull your finishing yarn just so that last stitch is nice and tight, and then let's work on these loose ends. So what I'd like to do is to tie these two together in a couple of knots first of all. So little tricky as one of my yarns is quite short, but I'll manage to get that done. So that's 2 knots there between those 2 yarns. These are the back of 2 of the slip stitches, and I'd like to weave my yarn through them so we can hide them out of the way. I'm going to do that by inserting my hook into the back of the slip stitch and then pulling the 2 loose ends through the slip stitch. So I'll do that again. There's our slip stitch. Insert the hook into the back of the 2 slip stitches, wrap the 2 loose ends through and then pull them through. Now one of mine is a little bit shorter than the other, so what I'm going to do is to continue with the long one and leave the short one as it is. If you have 2 long ones left, keep going with both, but I'm just going to work on this one. So insert it in and pulling through. And then again insert, there's 2 loops there, 1, 2, and pull that through. Almost done. Insert again and pull that through. Oh dear, you see I have pulled the yarn there slightly. So what I'm going to do is one of them's already through, so I'm just going to take the other one through as well, and then just put them together and continue. And this one's a little bit tricky. Just wiggle your hook around if you struggle, just like I am there. So put all the yarns together this time and pull through 1 and 2. And there we have it, they're all tucked in nice and neat. So what I'm going to do now is just make sure that all of the petals are neatly spaced around, so they're all evenly spaced and look like petals. And then I'm just going to snip both of these yarns. There's one and there's the other one. So there is our beautiful, easy to make chain stitch flower. Our very first project completed. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe and like.